Right, so I'm going to show you the rigs I've been catching your carp on. I've been fishing the helicopter rig on here, fished with a fluorocarbon boom, a size 4 Kershank hook, a pop-up. This is just a little dumbbell one I put on here for a demonstration. Sliding on the hook like so, hook stop or buffer bead, whatever they're called, I don't know. Fished like running rig style, bit of putty, a tungsten sleeve there, buffer bead, hook, helicopter buffer bead down to the lead tubing and a stop. So for those of you who don't know, you cast this rig out, so on casting it looks like that, and as you're casting through the air, this is where the rig gets its name from, the helicopter rig. It spins, rotates around the tubing or lead core, whichever you're allowed. There's a lead core ban on this water, so we have to use tubing. It's a pretty good rig. You can sort of chuck it anywhere. It's going to fish because as the lead penetrates the water, hits the bottom. Say if there's a load of debris or crap on the floor, the lead will penetrate into that, and then the tubing will then sit on top, and then the rig itself will then settle down onto the lake bed like so. You've got a little bit of putty here. This critically balances this pop-up, so it seats itself really slowly and comes to rest on the lake bed. Because of the nature of this fluorocarbon boom, it's inherently stiff, as you can see, so it's always going to push itself away regardless of which direction it goes in. It's always going to push itself away, as you can see. The other good thing about this rig is fish get away with it more than we sort of realise. They'll come along, they'll suck the bait up and they won't get nailed, but in turn, by doing that with this rig, the fish has come along, got away with it. This rig is then going to reset itself because of the nature of this stiff material. It's going to lay back down, ready, cocked, to hopefully nail another one that comes along and doesn't get away with it. It's a brilliant rig. I've never had it tangle. They are really good. The only thing they're a bit dodgier if you're casting at trees. Obviously you've got this rig section spinning around all freely. That can obviously snag up on branches, which it has happened to me before in the past, and you end up making a Christmas tree with lead decorations and hook baits and rigs and trashing your swim in general. So I try and avoid using this rig when I'm fishing under tree canopies, purely for that purpose. But we'll go on to have a look at a new system which Gemini Tackle have brought out. For those of you who know Gemini, they are predominantly started doing sea fishing terminal tackle back in 1990, I believe. Their sea fishing equipment is second to none. It is right up there. It's top of the chain when it comes to quality of products. And yeah, Gemini have ventured into carp fishing, because obviously there's a lot of money in carp fishing. because people spend thousands of pounds doing it. So Gemini sort of ventured into it now, and they've brought out this system, which I'm going to show you in 2 seconds. Just get it rigged up. It's called the ARC system, or ARC. Don't know exactly what that stands for. I'm not 100% what it means, what it's supposed to, the acronym is supposed to stand for, so I can't find the information to tell you. Anyway, here it is. This is the ARC LED system, which to all intents and purposes is exactly the same setup that we just had, with a few subtle differences. As you can see, we have 2 beads on this one, and obviously the ARC LED system, which is this beautiful thing here. As you can see, that is it. Now this system is, we use this in sea fishing a lot. These, I think they call them splashdowns in sea fishing. Basically, if you're sea fishing, your hook link is much longer than this, and you generally have quite big baits. You can have baits yay big to, you know, a size of a mackerel, really, a massive bait, with big hooks, 2 big hooks. And Gemini came up with the splashdown system, which basically holds the hook onto your rig itself. So this is the hook link and this is the rig. So what that does is, obviously in sea fishing you've got a bigger weight generally. I've seen people cast 8-ounce leads sea fishing, so big heavy weights, big baits, and Gemini came up with the splashdown system, which sort of streamlined the whole rig setup. Pretty much as you can see here, it's really streamlined. The hook link is pinned to the rig itself. So what that means is there is no flapping around. It doesn't do the helicopter, it doesn't spin, it doesn't rotate. So in turn, what that does, it reduces drag on your cast, meaning you can cast further with it, and also fishing under tree canopies as well, because you've not got that helicopter spinning around, because it's all attached to the splashdown system, or ARC, whatever that means. It's very tidy, it's very neat, it's very streamlined, and I'll just demonstrate how it works. So as you can imagine, you're ready to cast your rig out. That's how it looks on casting. You're travelling through the air, and that's how it's travelling through the air. On impact with the water slides up these grooves on this lead here and hits this cap here, and on impact with the water splashes up, hits this cap and releases your hook link, like so, and then you're back fishing your helicopter setup with a stiff boom, critically balanced, or tongue twister too early in the morning. Yeah, critically balanced bait, and again resetting. If the fish gets away with it, it's going to reset for another fish to come along and hopefully get nailed. So yeah, that's the ARC system. It's pretty good. I haven't used it yet. I'm going to give it a go today, just to see how it performs, really. It's all right. It's not bad. I think Gemini need to have a look at the end of it, really. So at the moment, because we're on a tubing only on this water, it makes it quite difficult to get it all to lock into position on the end of the lead, because you can see there's only like a 5mm little ring there, which you are supposed to attach your main line to. But then actually, if you're using tubing, you've got to be able to grip your tubing onto your lead. So maybe Gemini, if you could extend that a bit. I know you've probably made all the moulds and that for it now, so what I'm saying is just going to, you know, not be taken into notice, but hey ho, it is what it is. I'm going to give it a go, see how it performs, and we'll just push that back down on there like so. So yeah, that's the ARC system. One thing I didn't tell you about, obviously the 2 beads on here. So you need obviously the bottom bead to give you your attention to the splashdown system, which keeps it all streamlined like so, and then also your top bead, which is your stop bead. So as you can imagine, this has the ARC system has ejected the lead on impact, and now this is floating up as the lead's travelling down through the water. This part is floating back up, it's hitting your top bead, and that is going to fish like that. Now obviously rig safety is paramount when we're carp fishing, because we care about our fish so much. These beads on here, basically what happens if this gets stuck in a snag or something, the fish takes you into a snag, you don't want to be leaving all this in a fish's mouth, because that fish will die if that happens. So hopefully the fish is in a snag, or not hopefully, we don't want the fish in a snag in the first place, but if it does go in a snag, you've got this wrapped around a snag or whatever, it's all tangled up, that fish is on there, it's never going to get away, and that's a dead fish. So we use these beads at the end here, which pull, 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 and then come away, and it's actually snapped the tubing, which isn't a good demonstration. So these beads, they need to be, they're too tight on here, I think. So perhaps without the silicone maybe better, I don't know. Let's just try it without the silicone. Right, so without the silicone, that's running too freely as far as I'm concerned. So I'm going to look at doing something a bit different, maybe not use this silicone sleeve, maybe try a bit of a shrink tube, see if that's better. I'm going to do that right now, and I'll come back to you.